So in the last lecture, we've created this link, and when you click on it, it will take you to a URL like this one. And now we need to handle this URL request and check if it has an action of theme name delete post. We need to delete this post. So in order to handle a URL request in WordPress, of course we will use actions. So a suitable action to handle this request is the init action. So let's add action. And when the init action is called, WordPress will be loaded and the user will be authenticated. So this will be the perfect action to use in order to use WordPress functions and also have the user authenticated in order to get his capabilities. So let's create a function now to handle the request. So let's call it theme name handle delete post, and let's create this function now. So what we need to do is we need to check if these arguments exist. We need to do something. And of course, you should know that these arguments are stored as an array in the super global variable get, right? So let's write an if condition and is set, which is a PHP function that will check if a variable is set. So is set and then get and then the action. And we also need to make sure that if this action is set, we need to make sure that it's our action. So if this action is equals to let's copy it from here, then we need to do something, delete the post. So the logic for deleting the post will be inside this if condition. So now let's get the post ID, and the post ID will be the post that we post in the get request. So we have get and post, but first we need to check that this value exists. So let's call is set, and if it's set, we will set the post ID to this value, and if not, let's set it to null. And then the next step, we need to verify that there is actually in the database a post with this ID. So to do that, let's create a variable called post, and it will call a function called getPost, which will get a post from a post object from the post ID. So let's pass it the post ID. But let's also make sure that this is an int, not a string. We can do that by typecasting using these brackets and int inside of it. So if this post is empty, then there is no post with this ID. Otherwise, we have a post. So let's check if empty and the post. We will break out of the function, return, and do nothing. Otherwise, we will continue. So we now have the post ID, and we confirm that the post exists. We now need to delete it. So to delete a post, we call a function called wp trash post and our post ID. So after deleting the post, let's redirect maybe to our home URL or something. So WordPress has a function called wp redirect and wp safe redirect. You should use safe redirect if you want to redirect to a URL that is inside your website, not an external URL, and use wp redirect otherwise if you want to go to an external URL. So it takes a location, and the location we need it to be the home URL. And of course, after redirecting, we should always call die or exit in order to avoid any further code execution. So let's try this. Let's try and delete the post that we created. So let's create a new post to delete it. We don't want to delete these posts because we will use them in testing later. So let's create a new dummy post. Let's call it test. And let's now try and delete. And as you can see, it's deleted and we are redirected to the home URL. And to make sure, let's go to the posts and you'll find it in the trash. So let's restore these I don't know, I think I deleted this by mistake. Let's restore him in order to do some more testing. So let's log in now let's open a new incognito window in order to just be able to log in as another user. So localhost, and we called it test and test. And let's now try and delete. As you can see, it's deleted. However, the subscriber user type that we are logged in with should not be able to delete this. So this is a big security breach here. So let's go and restore the post back. So now it's time to use the current user can in order to check for capabilities. So let's go to our code. So after we make sure that the post exists, we also need to make sure that the current user can delete it. So let's write another if condition, and then current user can. And then let's try a capability called delete posts. Let's actually try and see what will this output. Let's write in the where we output the link. Let's var dump this, what will be returned from this, and let's see our posts. So as you can see, it returns true, and that makes sense because this is an admin, so he can delete any post. And here it returns false because this is a subscriber and he does not have the privilege to delete posts. Well, let's however change the user from subscriber to an editor and updated. And as you can see now, it will return true because an editor can delete posts, but he can only delete his posts. So this capability that we used here is a bit generic. So yes, the editor can delete posts, but he can't delete all posts. So there are some kinds of capabilities called meta capabilities, and they are usually singular, so delete post or delete user or something singular, and they take a second argument, and the second argument is the object that you want to check that they can delete. So in our case, we can pass a certain post ID, and the current user can will check if they can delete this specific post and not posts generally. So let's pass it, get the ID. And now here we are logged in as admin, so it will always return true. And here it also returns true. I don't know why. Oh, I think I think the author is not allowed to delete other people's posts. So let's try that. And yeah, it now returns false for the author user type if the post is not his post. But let's now create a post as an author. And let's view the homepage. And now, as you can see, it returns true for this post because it's his, and false otherwise. So I hope this is clear. Let's go back now to the code and use this check. Let's copy this, and we need to check that when we handle the form, the URL. But now instead of get the ID, we need to pass the post ID that is in the URL. So if he cannot, we will return. So let's try this now. So let's try to delete a post as an admin, and it should be deleted. And let's restore it. And let's now go to the author user type, and let's try to delete a post that is not his post, which is test, and it won't get deleted. Now let's try and delete his post, and now it's deleted. So of course you can display an error or something if he has no permission to delete, but that's not the point of this feature. We just needed to take a look at the user capabilities. What we can do really quick here is we can add this check also here. So if the current user can, and let's remove the not this time, and here we will need the ID, get the ID. So if the user can display the link, else just do nothing. So now let's restore our post, and now we should have the delete link in all of them because admin, but here we will only have the delete link for the ones that we can actually delete. We still have another problem though. Imagine if someone knows how to delete a post on your website. So he knows that if you, let's copy this link. He knows that if you visited this link, you will delete this post. So even if we check for capabilities, someone might trick someone who is an admin and is an authenticated user to click on this link. And if you click on this link, the post will be deleted. So knowing the link is useless because you can't do anything with it except if you are a logged in user who have the privilege to delete it. But you still can be an admin user who can delete the post, and someone might make you click on this link in some malicious way, maybe send you this link in an email or something. So to tackle that, WordPress provides what's called nonces. And this is a technique that will allow you as a developer to make sure that the user who clicked delete really intended to click delete and he was not just tricked into clicking it. So let's see how that works in the next lecture.